Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Bi Omega and Greater Germanic Reich. So in the last episode we have started the inter-branch cooperation tightening. Today we are going to finish it. Oh, and we got military investment and infrastructure investment possibilities. So let's look into that. January is slowly ending, so let's see what our economy is like. Deficit at 6%, real GDP growth roughly 10%. We should see a little reduction in debt to GDP ratio, but probably not by much. What I'm most interested in now is seeing the euro deficit go down, because the income tax should go up. Yep, we have seen a drop. And yeah, income tax went up. Inflation dropped as well, which means we get a bit more real GDP growth, and deficit dropped down as well. Cool, not bad. The Commonwealth of Siberia has conquered the far eastern Soviet Socialist Republic in the struggle. Okay, so now Russian Empire and Commonwealth of Siberia will have to face it off. So you got 49 to 55 divisions, so roughly 52. Your army is bigger, and your army might be better. Well, we'll see. It's gonna be a long war for certain. Utopian socialism is actually a pretty interesting idea. Gumanisty. Next election. We finished the Advanced Armored Car Chassis research, which is cool in its own way. Now, what do we need? We need the APC or AFV. I'm not sure which one we added to the template. Hold on. I think it was the AFVs. Yeah, AFVs. Okay. So let's give the AFVs a spin. Featuring additional ornaments such as a mounted machine gun in addition to the cannon, this AFV allows troops to fight from both within the vehicle using gun ports or from outside the vehicle using its heavier armor as a cover. Good. Martyr. And we got production. And now you give it back to me, you bastard. You took it all away and now you give it back. Never mind. The tank, though, is gonna come into production soon, so we might put a bit more pressure on the military, because we will need to reinforce our units. And as we're using 260 battle tanks in each of our units. Holy hell, that's gonna be 260 times 4 times 3. Okay, so that's 1,240 per one army. So that's 3,780. 3,780 tanks. It's gonna take some time. I mean, with 5 factories we're producing 3.76 per day, so let's call that 1,000 days. So if we put 15 factories extra on that, that would mean we would cut it to about a year. Okay, that can happen. Okay, and again with this nonsense. Come on, game. Quit kicking me down when you feel like it. Civilian investment. Okay, let's get that. We can speed the game a bit up. Okay, rubber processing is done, which will now allow us to research the next airplane model, which is going to be the Advanced Jet Close Air Support. Dedicated close air support aircraft can be produced that take advantage of our advancements in avionics to provide ground support. These aircraft are designed to destroy the enemy ground forces first and foremost. Everything else is secondary. Oh yeah, that's the point. Sub-detection is increased, air defense is increased by 4, agility by 5, naval attack by 5, ground attack by 5. Surface detection increased by 4, range by 300, air attack by 2, naval targeting by 2, back speed increased by 200 kilometers per hour. Okay, that sounds reasonable, so let's do that. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have enough XP to finish the tank once this one is done. I'll throw a budget upgrade. Okay, so, do you give us... Nope, no effect. It's just an event. A game of war. As part of the new interbranch coordination efforts, a large wargame had been organized near Danzig. A suitable location, a hill surrounded by a small forest near the coast, had been labeled enemy fortification and suitably equipped with bunkers, tents, and mock emplacements containing all machine guns and artillery pieces. At the given signal, the combined might of the Wehrmacht was unleashed upon the unfortunate earth mound. The Kriegsmarine opened fire upon the enemy positions, neutralizing anti-air batteries and grievously damaging several other emplacements. Immediately after, bombers from the Luftwaffe dropped their deadly cargo upon the trenches, anti-tank cannons and machine guns clearing the way for the Heer. Tanks rolled towards their target, and infantry, both motorized and on foot, followed in their wake to occupy the objective. Thanks to the radio coordination, there were no instances of friendly fire, and the entire operation was declared a success. For the entire time, Henning von Traskau looked with a satisfied expression at the scene unfolding a few hundred meters from his command tent. Several other members of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht, generals, aviators, and even a couple Kriegsmarine officers were present, all murmuring their approval for how the army reforms were having their desired effect. The Prussian general allowed himself a smug smirk. Everything was going as planned. The hill offered its unconditional surrender at 1746. Nice. Nice. Okay, so the Reichs OKV or Speers OKV? One of the following must be true. Is national spirit Wehrmacht reform outlook indecisive, ineffective, or derailed? Really? How would we even get that? How could we even get that derailed? I don't think there was enough. Maybe this is, for example, for a different timeline. Because remember, we're following as a very specific set of rules for Speer. There are 3 other contenders and a number of choices that we have taken throughout this playthrough. So it's kind of interesting to see that there might be something like this. Yeah, this is conservative. The Führer's Wehrmacht. But we're going with Reichs OKV. Move Wehrmacht Reform Outlook Total, which grants daily political power gain and political power minus 25%. Significant benefit from this, and a German Wehrmacht, giving us with experience day, war support, and resistance growth speed lowering. Replaces watchdog groups with total supervision. What's the effect? Oh wow, we actually went from here to watchdog groups. That's a huge jump. Okay, and this lowers division attack significantly more, but increases war support, leader experience gain, and significantly lowers resistance growth. Okay, that I guess that has an effect of its own, though that kind of castrates our attack capabilities. And then ready for modern warfare. Germany shall once again prove itself as military superpower. Cool. What's the effect of that? The Reichs OKV. Herr Speer must accept that the OKV is not his to meddle with any longer. Hitler's constant shuffling of commands, sacking of disfavored generals, and promotion of the undeserving almost led to ruin more than once. If the war had turned against us at any point, his interference could have proven utterly disastrous. Speer had to understand this and back down from his claim to authority over the OKV's inner workings. He can continue being commander-in-chief, but his political games are selfish, reckless, and detrimental to our success. We serve the Reich, not its leader. Kneeling to Hitler tore our martial brotherhood apart. That must never be permitted to happen again. That's actually true. Hitler's meddling in, in the Reich's military action was really detrimental to many of its operations. And for example, the failure at Stalingrad is mostly, at least in my opinion and opinion of many of the historians that I read, the fault of Hitler himself, because he just kept pushing and interfering with the operation, which led to significant issues with the command structure. By the way, we have now enough experience points, in my opinion, to finish the VO part 2A1, don't we? Don't we? So armor 140, yep. And engine at 15.1, so let's compare it once more to the older model of the Leopard. So defense of the original Leopard A1R was 20, we have 27.5, breakthrough was 50.6, we have 89.4, soft attack was 35, we have 52, hard attack was 25, we have 36.3, piercing was 120, we get 150. Armor was 130, we got 140. Breakthrough we spoke about. Reliability was 83.2, we got 80. But speed was 14.9, we got 15.1. So in all ways, actually, this is a superior model. And that will allow us to switch the current production of the obsolete A1R to the 2A1. And that's not what I wanted to do. So let's remove that. And switch you here. Leopard A1R to the 2A1. Main battle tank. Kind of confused that this is not seen as a obsolete model, but yeah, it is seen exactly as I expected it to be. Okay, so we can now significantly boost the production of military factories, and I need to unpause this to see the effect. Okay, we're still missing 5 factories on the tank, so I can load the transport helicopters, the improved attack helicopters. Let's take it away from the Schutzpanzer Solobo K1 and one more. Panzer, we got more than enough of those. Okay, so we're producing 1.74 per day at this point, but it is going to really ramp up. Production efficiency cap is 103.9%, so that's more than 5 times this number. Cool, I'm fine with it. If need comes to be, we can actually throw more factories at it. I mean, way more. Okay, we can actually immediately throw 5 extra factories there. Just to prove a point. And maybe even more. So we definitely don't need more of these. And I can tone it down here as well, because we need only 173 more. So let's wait, I scrolled past that. Let's give you 20 more factories, and we need 2 more. So I'm pretty sure we can take 2 from the motorized. Okay, so now we are producing 2.63 per day, and we are going to... Oh, wow, I don't even want to calculate that. That's gonna be... But we're gonna get to way above 15 per day soon. Which is good, because they will be needed. They will be needed. And I mean, we most likely have an insane amount of reserve tanks anyway. Okay, the advanced anti-air has been finished, which is good. And I wanted to see... Nope, you are still way ahead of time. So are you. So are you. Yeah, the infantry kit and the infantry weapon improvements would be good to do next. This is a bit ahead of time. We need to be sparing with the spending of army experience, so let's actually focus on infantry a bit, because they're gonna benefit significantly. So let's go with the 1970 infantry kit. In the helmet, new liners made of ballistic nylon with removable suspension have replaced the older pattern liners. Cotton camouflage covers have become prevalent, with buttonholes for inserting natural foliage for additional camouflage. So enemy air support lowered, upgrades to motorized and leg infantry, recovery rate, defense and breakthrough increased by 2.5% for motorized and leg infantry, recovery rate increased by 0.02 and defense and breakthrough increased. Okay, only for the 7 days, that is actually really decent. And we need to put the new anti-air into production. What's the 4188? You had 4.5, okay. Air attack 32, air attack 44, piercing 50. Piercing 30, 32, yeah, definitely much better. But we'll need more factories on that. We can put some more from the guns here. And that's actually exactly how many we need. Yeah, that's fine. That is completely fine. So February is gonna end soon. With the drop in inflation, we should see additional reduction of the debt to GDP. And how are we doing on the overall economy here? Yeah, just... No, actually we jumped over the United States. They have 388.75 billion and we get 389.19 billion. Nice. Top 10 economies. Ukraine is on its way to 14 billion. Finland at 11.06 now. Militärstadt Madagascar added 2 million. Belarus, Congo, Caucasian Federation. Well, I'm gonna have to investigate that in the next episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what the effect is gonna be. So, do we have some of those main battle tanks out there? Nope. Main battle tank chassis. Someone has to be getting them, right? Ah, here we have them. Here we have the new one, 2A1, phasing out the A1Rs. Cool. I like that. I like when things work out fine. Attack helicopters. Jesus. 3.8 per day already. Production is still increasing like insane. Well, I mean, that's a long project though. This is gonna take hundreds of days. As it should. I mean, you know, phasing out 3,500 tanks is not something that you can do in a day. Embers of the past. Perhaps I'll miss you too. Okay, can you lower something here? Nope. Members of the past. Antony's 50th birthday was today. These days were no different from any other. Only a reminder that his body would continue to break down and become less useful, and that his mind would dull with the passage of time. For that morning he brought a slightly worn-out coat to work, and passing by the checkpoint noticed an aura distinctly different to how it usually felt. When he entered the factory, Anthony noticed that all the workers were congregated into a half circle around the podium in the middle of the room. Fitting into the crowd of half Germans and half Poles, Antonin stared at the collection of woodwork-like military officers, one standing in front of the rest. Subconsciously gritting his teeth at the sight of a proper Nazi, Antonin listened in as the man gave a stiff salute, and then, "Workers of the Reich, in this case I am more importantly addressing our Polish slaves." Antonin rolled his eyes, of course. "The Führer has announced that the Wittmannstadt automobile factory, property of Daimler-Benz, is letting go of all Polish workers who have not been born in Wittmannstadt." Immediately the murmuring of the crowd was heavy, but the slamming of rifles against the ground by nearby soldiers shut them, and Antonin up quickly. "Effective today, those in question will be given 3 days' worth of rations, their documents, including a passport, and 1 month's work of pay. You will be guided to trains that will head either to German territory or to Polish government." Feeling a need to say no more, he gave another stiff salute. "Dismissed." Antonin's mind had entered a flurry. Was what Gottfried said that year ago really going to ring true? Was he going to go home? Why now, of all times, and so suddenly? There was a tightness in his chest as he approached the man he had now known for 2 years, and for a moment he had looked at Gottfried as if he was just another German, but it passed just as quickly as it appeared. "You were right," Antonin began, and his fellow worker nodded silently. "Now I must board a train and head to a city, all in 1 day. This all has happened so quickly, so suddenly, and—" He trailed off. Gottfried shook his head. "I don't know much, Antonin, but I know that I'll miss talking to you." Antonin looked at the German carefully, swallowing a lump in his throat. Perhaps I'll miss you too." Actually, this feels like it should be before that other event that we got from the train station, because now they dismissed him, and if I'm not mistaken, the one before was sending him to Krakow, I think, instead of Danzig. So it's a bit backwards, I think, but I might be mistaken. Okay, debt to GDP dropped to 80.6. Inflation went up again. Deficit went down though, because our income tax is skyrocketing again. That's good. The ISO-KV will be done soon. Okay, we got another cruiser here. So let's put it for training. And you guys are repairing. Flickering and fading. The wooden flooring made his behind sore, but it's not like he could complain. The train's car door in front of him was open, exposing the endless green that swirled past him. He didn't know what to think. What was there to think? Nothing at all. Indeed, that was what Antonin was going through. He thought of nothing, but his mind hurt as if he had a migraine. Perhaps he was not allowing his mind to think. Yet deep in that hole of nothingness and despair, a thought was extracted. He could notice his breathing becoming more hitched, the scratching of his fingertips against the floor as his hand tightened up. "I have been here before," the sentence wandered in his mind, numb and cold, but it held an ingrained sense of impossibly comprehensive fury. "I have been here before," it repeated, begging to be completed. "The rumbling of this engine and the mixing of the colors in front of me. I recognize this all. It's familiar to me in a way I cannot ever forget. And how could he? If he did, he wouldn't lose the last thing that made him a person. Otherwise, he would simply be a shell, hollow and tumbling in the void, waiting to be consumed by reality's cruel whims. I have been here before. When I never expected to be anywhere else, but I did. Now I have returned." Antonin was now thinking. How could he think? If he did, it would only open up a long-lost... Oh, Antonin was not thinking. How could he? If he did, it would only open a long-lost memories that he would not dare to look at. Here in this train he was alone. Utterly alone. In this car there was nobody else but him. He had all reason to think, and all the time, but he would prefer to have his mind remain closed. Banishing the flame that threatened to engulf him, in his mind he only stared mindlessly into the fields, all of which blended into the same field, green and endless. Yet even in the lack of thought he hated the chugging of the engine, the bumps of the rail, making him stop up his breath, as if the ride had ended. Silence dominated his surroundings. but all he could hear was noise that was almost 30 years overdue. He did not feel the pain in his fingertips, nor the fact that everything in his vision blended into shapeless blobs and whirlwinds of color, and the grinding in his mind that lasted for hours and hours and hours. A train in, a train out, one filled, one empty, and only I remain. Well, the disposition of the slaves is continuing. We got only 12.15 million. Well, we'll see how it's gonna go. We shall see how it's gonna go. So already producing near 5 of the new tanks per day. That is great. Now you still need to finish your repair. You are so close to being done with your training. You are also working on that. How's the production going on? So we're still going with the heavy cruisers? No, Brugger Creek, and then 2 frigates. Okay, so that was the last one. And the game again struck us with the issue of the production. The RiceOKV finished. A German Wehrmacht. Germans, not Aryans. Servants, not subjects. Soldiers, not warriors. We are the Wehrmacht, the greatest military the world has ever known. We walk in the footsteps of European martial tradition, dating back thousands of years, and will not be led astray by ideology. The citizens, not the race. The nation, not the party. The ideals, not the ideology. Never again will we be tools of an over-mighty megalomaniac. Let the Führer grumble and the NSDAP call us disloyal. Only the nation and its people are worthy of it anyway. So, the reformist cause will benefit. Watchdog groups are replaced with total supervision, leader experience gain, war support are increased by 5%, and resistance growth lowered by 5%. And decreases watchdog groups' policy effectiveness and increases military supervision policy effectiveness. Cool. Conscription is actually almost at a max. Watchdog group supervision. Okay, combat schooling gives extra attack. Draft exemption. All of them have a drift up. How's the poverty? Almost sub 40%. That is nice. Okay, trade has broken, but we're almost at 2,500 GDP per capita. Poverty is almost lower than where we started. No, actually it's... Oh, that doesn't work that way. You have to do it this way. Oh, this is weird. I broke it again. Never mind then. Never mind then. Okay, and we need to start looking at the new vehicle we have here. Okay, so the Panzer A1R Leopard is obsolete. Cannon Jagdpanzer AFV, that one will have to phase out. Yeah, Panzer Rosa will need to be phased out in favor of the advanced armor car chassis. Whew. So Panzer Rosa was actually a recon one, wasn't it? Yeah, it has a boost recon. So you have a heavy machine gun. Wait, what? Armored car ornaments? Oh, we have no turret. Okay, let's put a 3-man turret there. Now we want the advanced automatic cannon, the modern light cannon. You have more piercing, you have more soft attack. No, let's go with this one. That has more hard attack as well. Now, radio and what gives recon? There was that crew heater. No. Improved command. Improved commander's optics. That's the one. And there was one more though. Stabilizer. I saw. Yeah, enhanced optical equipment. Is there anything else? Reliability, smoke emitter, smoke launcher, easy maintenance, expanded fuel capacity, crew heater, auto loader, extra armor plating, additional machine guns. Well, let's give you additional machine guns, and we're gonna see what this is gonna do. You have the non-track suspension, wheel suspension. This one would have track suspension. This one would lower the hardness significantly, but we did that anyway, huh? Hardness minus 30, hardness minus 20. Okay, it makes reliability better. Wasn't there something like a half track? Nope. Okay, so half track then. It was actually half track, yeah. I thought that. Okay, never mind. Okay, cast armor. And you have diesel engine, huh? Petrol electric. Defense and breakthrough. Lowers the reliability by 50%. Well, gasoline in this case would be the best one. We don't really need to boost the speed, so what are we looking at this point? Soft attack and hard attack both increased. Piercing increased insanely by 15. Hardness is the same, armor 22.5 compared to 10. Definitely better. Breakthrough 16.1 compared to 11.5. Defense 13.17 compared to 6.2, so you are better in every single way. And reliability is higher on the Panzerosa though. Guess that might be the fault of the machine guns. I don't think there's anything though that would... No, active protection system would not really help. What gives the highest reliability boost? It's 5%. 5%. You give 10%. Lower soft attack and defense slightly will give us extra reliability. No, we could keep it like this, and for that we need 21 XP. No need to put the engine actually higher up, because the fastest one that we have is the Leopard 2A1 at 15.1, so actually the speed is a bit too high. So if I switch to diesel and boost it, yeah, that will make it better. And armor boost. Okay, well, we could do it like this. That makes it better. So 15.5 speed, reliability 99.7, reconnaissance 1, fuel usage up. Cool, so this would be what I would like to get as a new vehicle. But unfortunately we can't get that right now, so I'll have to wait at least till the end of the next episode. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. We are ending as the dominant power. We actually now have slightly less than 3 billion on the United States of America, but it's good to know that our reforms are working. Our mechanized divisions are... Oh, actually, one of them is already done. Amazing. Do you have the new tanks? You don't. Okay, well, never mind. Someone does have to have them. Yep, you got 3. It's gonna take a bit of time to get used to that, but hey, we're gonna get it. Anyway, till next time, you guys take care, and I'll see you then.